Well, I suppose like the best youth player to me would be Bradley and Kwanzaa. The best player this season, I think, was McAllister. Obviously, with an honourable mention, Kelleher and Harvey Elliott. I did a poll in one of my groups there, and it was actually between Virgil van Dijk and McAllister. And I don't know whether you saw this is Anfield. Henry Jackson had voted Liverpool FC player ratings, every player ranked from worst to best.
Would you still give Van Dijk, keep him as captain?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. So
I don't think there's anybody else in the team you'd go for, though, is there? Like, who would you replace him with? You give it Trent?
Yeah, I did say last year when he was given to Virgil, I thought, nah, it's the wrong decision. I'd have give it from the season prior. I'd have give it to Robbo, but I don't think Virgil van Dijk is. Although he's a leader, I don't think he's got a history with the club like Trent has, and I think Trent would be an amazing leader.
Yeah, I think Trent's probably a future captain when Van Dijk leaves. But who would your player of the season be then, Martin?
Well, I've got right. I know soft lad here who sat in the cop at the moment is going to laugh at me, but I've got two, and I can't split them. I've got I can't say his name. Slobberslai. I think he's had a good season. Yeah, he's had his iffy moments, but I think Endo's had a fantastic season.
I mentioned really it. Like he's in my top 5 is Endo.
Yeah, I think Endo has come out from nowhere, and that kid is going down. And it's my opinion. I'll probably get stabbed in the head for all this, after all the comments and stuff. But I think he's got a. If he doesn't go, he could be a Veron. Not a Veron. What was his name? Had long blonde hair for Liverpool.
Vonneran,
yeah.
Who?
What? The Ukrainian fella.
Lucas.
Lucas Leiva.
That's him, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's my thing keeps dropping up here.
That's it, is it?
Him. He's telling me to say it. It's all his fault.
Come here to me. I was. You were saying Endo's your man of the season.
I'm going to give it to him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get slated for it, but I think he's been good.
So Henry Winter has him down as number 12, right? Number starts 34, 9 as referee sub. And he's had he's after giving them an average rating of 7.21, and he's number 12 in Henry Jackson's ratings.
Yeah, but for someone who's come in out of the world of no one knowing who he was to fit in and do what he did, I think he needs a cracking pat on the back because he was under some pressure.
Yeah. I think as well, he was the first player as well that I've ever seen a Liverpool manager come out and do like some sort of introductory video to, when we signed him, Klopp was like, oh, well, I've wanted him since he was born. Like, he's one of these players that I never thought I was going to get. I didn't think we'd be able to sign him because of how old he was. But, the owners let me buy him, blah, blah, blah. Brian.
That was the Lidl shopping list.
Huh?
That was off his Lidl shopping list.
Probably, yeah. Bri, who's your player of the season?
I'm going to be a little bit controversial too. I think it's McAllister, or I think he has for his consistency. I think he has stepped up this year, like he has, I think he has. The thing is, he's living in Mane's shadow, and I don't think you're going to get better than Mane. But I think Diaz has been there when half the squad's injured, and I think without him too, I don't know. I like Diaz. McAllister, I think, but Diaz is a close second.
Yeah. What about you, Shano?
Well, I mean, I like McAllister. I mean, I like Szoboszlai as well, but I think when he came back, he didn't play all that well. So I'd say McAllister. Which, funny enough, let me see. I'm just checking the ratings.
Just keep pulling at him.
Oh, I'm come prepared tonight, hasn't he? I bet he's got a little red book.
So yeah, so like Henry Jackson or Henry Winter went Virgil van Dijk first and McAllister second, and then Quansah third, which I was a bit surprised by. But I definitely think McAllister played very well. I think he was having difficulty at the start with the kind of position that he was playing further back than he'd like to. And I think he I'm playing Sudoku, Spectre, but I think he had once he was in the right position, I think he did very well. But definitely, I think Bradley did extremely well when Trent was out. I think that kid has a future, without a doubt.
But there's some good talent coming through now, and the future's bright. I don't care who the manager is. We'll get behind them and we go again.
Yeah, but what you got to look at is, I mean, are any of these players, not in his plans? You got to look at it that way. I mean,
would you bring Carvalho back? Carvalho, what is it? What's his name? Is that on loan? Yeah,
Carvalho. He's on loan to Wolves, or not Wolves, Hull, isn't it? Is it Hull?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is Hull. Yeah.
Adam, you're on mute.
My bad. If if Slot's going to do this 4-2-3-1, then I can see Carvalho playing in that middle bit. I don't want to see Carvalho out on the wing at all because he's just useless out there. Stick him in the middle and probably have him as the backup to Szoboszlai. You move Szoboszlai forward, put Szoboszlai behind the striker, and then you swap him out with Carvalho if needs be. That's just something I'd do anyway. But yeah, my player of the season would probably be McAllister or Van Dijk as well. I can't pick between them. I think Van Dijk's come back and had a really good season considering he had that injury, and then I think last season he was poor, and I think this year he's had a really good season as Van Dijk. McAllister's come in and he's looked like he's always just been at Liverpool for his whole life. I think no matter where Klopp put him, whether it was DM or a bit further forward, I think he's just played really, really good. So that Maka would be up there for me. And when you were talking about young player of the year, I would have initially gone for Quansah, but I think going off what you mentioned, where we played Bradley and we didn't miss Trent when Bradley were playing. Bradley came in and was like, he was just like Trent 2.0, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, if not better. Like, when we looked at them stats earlier, he played less games than Trent, and he was only a few assists behind him, if not or something like that. So I do think probably Bradley would take my young player, and Van Dijk would just marginally take my player of the season in regards to that. And then if anything for anybody else on here on the player of the season, any honourable mentions, anything like that?
I think Gomez did extremely well in left back as well. When Robbo was out injured, I thought he was phenomenal. And I mean, we all thought that he was probably outstayed his welcome, maybe a season or two.
Robbo's not got long left now anyway, though, has he?
I don't know about that, but I think Gomez played extremely well. He really, really did. Gomez, when Tsimikas and Robbo were injured, I think if any player goes, it'd probably be Tsimikas, but I think Gomez played extremely well. Jesus Christ, the amount of times I thought he was going to score his first goal. I was like, come on, Gomez. But,
I want to give the benefit of the doubt, and I know I've slagged them all season, but I really got an idea, and I really think I'd give Núñez one more season, and I've given him down the banks. But if Slotty can come in and sort him out, I'd give him one more. And if he's not, or give him half a season. If he doesn't do anything, then maybe sell him in the winter. But I'd give him another shot because the kid's come in and he's had all this pressure put on him, and it's not gone for him. But yet he hasn't put his head down.
Yeah, I agree with Nunes. Spectre put a question in here. Who is the most improved player of the season? For me, I'm going to go with who Shauno just mentioned, Gomez. I think he's come on leaps and bounds this year. I think if he'd have been put into that centre-back position or anything last year, we'd have all been like, oh, I'm not too sure about this. But this year, he's come on and he has 100% shown that he's got a future at Liverpool, whether it be backup, left back, right back, centre back, whatever. He's got a place in that squad for me.
We have to put him up front so he can score if he's going to stay.
Do Steve Colker.
I'll see you later, Colin, mate. Thank you for joining the stream.
See you, Colin. I think I'd agree with me, agreeing with you, agreeing with me.
Agreeing with me.
I'd go for Gomez and Elliott. I think Elliott has had a superb season. I think he's scored some really important goals for us. So
he's more like a senior player now. I think he's come on that much. I think he can come in off the bench and he can take control of that game. I think now he's got that experience, and I think he's a good leader in his own little way. People disagree, but he's not scared of a tackle.
Who's that? Sorry, Elliott. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Elliott's been really good. I think he's got a bright future now ahead of us. I think as long as he don't play out on that right wing and he's in the centre of the park, I think he'll be fine for me. Elliott.
Do you think Salah's going?
Salah?
Do you think he's going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Brian?
No, I don't know about Salah. I'm mixed because he's saying things like he's going to be there next season. He's going to be pushing for trophies next season. Nothing changes. So either he's going to run his contract out. I don't think he's going to go. I think he might. I don't know. He's saying things with like he's going to stay, but Liverpool aren't going to have him there if he's not going to sign a contract. So
yeah,
I don't know.
As Doug said, we don't want to lose them on the free as well. Brian, can I ask you? Sorry, Adam, I'm kind of taking over your show a little bit. Brian, who's your most improved player of the season?
The most improved player.
I'll put it back.
Put it back.
Yeah. I think can't look past Gakpo as most improved. He's equal on what Luis Diaz is. He's equal the stats, the goals. He's most improved, but I would say Elliott too. But I think Gakpo's a little bit. I think this year with Arne Slot, I think you're going to see a different type of Gakpo. I think you're going to see the Dutch national team Gakpo.
Yeah, I think that as well with Van Dijk and Slot and Gakpo, with it being the nationality, I think there's going to be some more coming over fitting into it. Like we went through all the Spanish sides, and then we went through the Germans, and now we're going to go through the Danish sides.
Danish.
Oh yeah. What? So I'd had a quick look at the stats then for Gakpo. She's like, is this his first full season? It is, isn't it? Yeah, because he came halfway through last year, didn't he? So this year, 35 games, 8 goals, 5 assists, and then within the first, let's say, 4 or 5 months of him joining Liverpool, he got 7 goals and 4 assists. Hold on, where's he gone? 2 assists, sorry. So pretty much the same a little bit, but I get he has become a little bit more involved. And also, just to defend him as well a little bit, I will say as well, I do think he needs consistency on a position rather than just being chucked in willy-nilly. Like, I think he's played centre mid at one point, he's played down the middle, he's played out on the left. He needs to have a position where he can basically make his own rather than just being a bit of a stopgap filler, which I do think is what Gakpo became basically.